Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. So much going on the channel at the moment, and indeed the last few days have seen a brief algorithm burst for our classic 4 givens in 1 puzzle video of a puzzle by Ard van der Wetering, and we're thrilled about that. We hope it's brought more new viewers to the channel. In case you don't know, what we do is both Simon and myself record a video every day solving a variant Sudoku or maybe some other puzzle, and you are very welcome to play along with the puzzle, or do that first, then watch the video, just watch the video, or just fall asleep to us, as some people do. We love any kind of interaction at all, frankly, and that counts. Now, there's tons of other things associated with the channel. So we've got a Patreon page, and you can subscribe to us on Patreon, which gets you extra content. So this month, June the 1st is the release date of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy Sudoku Hunt, which we are thrilled to bring you. In the last week or two, we've had 3 cryptic crossword solves up there. There's also been the Discord Anniversary Puzzle Pack, which is just amazing. Loads of insight into the constructors' journeys as constructors. Within the last month, there was the Star Wars Puzzle Pack as well. So much extra content. Oh, of course, the Build Your Own Sudoku Puzzle Hunt by Mattis Martinka and the solution videos for that. So tons of stuff on Patreon. We have our apps. They're all on the link under the video as well. So $5 gets you 100 amazing handcrafted puzzles. Well worth it at about 5 cents a puzzle. So do think about that. Also, what have we had on the channel? We've had the podcast. Second episode of the podcast is up there. Should be up on general podcast platforms now as well. And our series of guest videos from Sudoku constructors on recent Mondays. I mean, loads going on in the world of puzzles. And today I am going to be given a lesson by the Sudoku professor, Richard Stolk, who is continuing his Sudoku variant series. He's into the 320s of publishing a different variant Sudoku every week. How does he keep it up? Well, we will see today with a totally new rule set called Ascending Starters. And let's just go through the rules first, see what they are. So, clues outside the grid indicate the sum of the first set of all ascending digits starting from the first cell from the corresponding side. So, yeah, so this 14 could be just a pair of cells going 6, 8, or 3 cells going 3, 4, 7, I suppose. For instance, those are just 2 of the possibilities. So whatever the first run of ascending digits from a side is, as long as they go up from that side, you add them up and the number will be the number outside the grid if it's given. I think we can understand that. It's a bit like X sums, skyscrapers, a bit like that as well, but I've certainly not seen this variant before. I have no idea how that's going to work. Sets may consist of only 1 digit. Well, okay, that can only apply in the case of these 2 6s down here. They could be just a 6. So those are the rules. Do give it a try in our software on the link under the video. That's the first link in the description field. And I'm going to try it now. So let's get cracking. Well, what about those 6s? Surely one of them has to be just a single digit 6. Because I was going to pencil mark a 6 into one of those, but I don't think I can do that actually. Because what if one was 1, 5 and the other was 2, 4? And one of them could be 1, 2, 3. 3 cell, 6 sum. So there seem to be 4 possibilities for a 6 clue. Okay, where do we start then? Well, the 25 clue and the 26 clue have to be at least 4 cells, because 3 Sudoku digits can only add up to a maximum of 24. This 22 clue has to be at least 3, and the 26 clue has to be at least 4. So it must kind of run in an ascending sequence round the corner, We have a thermo in a way of that length. I don't want to be confused. So what can this cell be? I don't think, well, it can't be a 6 because that would be too high. If you had a 6 here, then the only way you could ascend is with a 7 or 8, an 8 or 9. This has to be at least 4 cells. So in fact, it would have to go 6, 7, 8, 9, but that adds up to 30. So 6 is too high. 2 is too low because we have to ascend to that cell from here. So it's got to be 3, 4, or 5. And 4, 3, or 2 there, 3, 2, or 1 here. Now, these aren't adding up to very much. 12 at the maximum. So this goes another 2 cells. Because you can't get 10 in one cell. Ah, yes, this, right. Well, I know the exact length of this 22 clues ascent then. It's got to be 5 cells. What I'm highlighting is what would happen if it was 6 cells. And the only way to make up 22 with 6 different numbers is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And 7 cannot begin the 14 clue because it would have to ascend to at least 8 and you've broken the clue. So this goes 5 cells. I'm going to colour those blue. That's its distance. 1, 2, so the minimum is 6 there, which would need a 7, 9 finish. So if it was 1, 2, 3, 7, 9, that's possible. 3, 4, 5 is actually too much because you'd need at least 6, 7. So this can't be a 3. I don't think this can be a 4. If this was a 4, you'd have 4, 5, you'd have either 10 or 11. You'd need another 11 or 12. And again, this has to be at least 6, 7 to keep ascending. So that's not 4. And I'm not sure I can make any further deductions really that are useful. I mean, I could fill in the possible digits in those cells, but it doesn't really advance me. Now this 26, this is at least 4 cells here. How could it be 5, starting with at least a 3? Oh, it could be. Would it have to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, I think? Yes, it would. It would have, if it was 5, if it came to here, it would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Does that clash with the 20 clue? No, that could go... that couldn't go 1, 2, 8, 9 and stretch to here. For the simple reason that you couldn't put 1 and 2 in those first 2 cells because these would already be 1 and 2 in column 8 and 9. But annoyingly, it could go 5, 7, 8. So I cannot tell whether orange, whether this run goes into this cell. So I'm going to kind of leave that half marked. I think I may be not looking at the right sort of thing here. What about this 22? That could be 3 or 4 cells or even 5. It's opposite a 10. That's a 32 total. Now, can we use the secret that each row adds up to 45 to do something about the numbers that would be in the middle? Not really. Now the 22, yes, this 25 has to go up to at least here as well. is opposite 14. That leaves a sandwich of 6 between them, but that could be 3, 2, or 1 cells. Now, if this 22 came into this cell, then this is forming a thermo, that goes kind of round the corner. What could this be? I don't really know. Can it Sixes. They've got to begin with 1, 2, or 6. Here's something I should have thought about a lot earlier. Yes, I suggested earlier that one of these sixes might go 1, 2, 3 if the other one was 6. And that is nonsense because of the cell that would be beyond them. Because that couldn't be 1, 2, or 3. It would have to be a higher digit. And then the ascending sequence would actually run up into it and not be 6. So there's a kind of negative constraint with the cell after the ascent. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay. What does that do for us? Yes, it means it can't be 1, 2, and 4, 5 next to each other. Well, it means, first of all, we can't have a 1, 2, 3 sequence. So these are either 2 or 1 cell long. And I'm just wondering now about whether they can both be 2 cells, which I thought they could originally, 1, 5 and 2, 4. But actually, no, because the number beyond the 5 and the 4 has to be lower than both 5 and 4. And you can't put 3 in both cells. So one of these is a 6. So my very first instinct of penciling a 6 in there was right. And the other one is either 1, 5 or 2, 4. And I don't know which column it's in. But let me ask this question. Where does 9 go in this box? In box 8. This is really interesting. Really interesting to me. 9 cannot go in those 2 cells because it would end the ascent that's trying to get to 25. It can't even go in that cell for the same reason because 7, 8, 9 only adds up to 24. So 9 can't be in any of those cells. Clearly it's not in those because it can't be in a sequence that adds up to 6. But also it can't be in these 2 because they would add to a sequence and take it over 6 to an ascent. So 9 is in one of these. What about 8? 8's going to be the same thing. If you put 8 here, it's just not going to work. If you put 8 even here, the sequence can only be 3 digits long, and we know it must be 4. If you put 8 here, it's going to break these 6 sequences. So again, now I think 8 can be here. 1, 7, 8, 9, for instance, will work. 8 can only be here if that's a 9, but it can be here. So it's in one of those 3 cells. And now, what's this? Yes, the 22 clue can't be 3 cells long because it would need a 9 in it. And we know that 9 is in one of those 2 cells in this row. So it's at least 4 cells long. And I'm going to say then 9 can't be here. But I don't know. Well, it can't be there if this is a 4 cell. Can this be a 5 cell clue? It can't have 8, 9 there because these would only add up to 5 and that's impossible in 3 cells. So, but it could be a 5 cell with a 9 here and an 8 behind it. No, there's no way you can put 9 and 8 here because whichever one of these is a 2 cell 6 is going to break. So that has to be 9 or 8. Yeah, we need 9 and 8 in these 3 cells. They can't be in both these cells because they'll break one of the 6 clues. So one of them is here. That is absolutely insane. And it's not the 9 because that would break the 25 clue. Our first digit is a really weird 8 there. Now, does 9 have to be... No, we've said 9 can't be here because this sequence has to run to the 8. And if it ran to the 9, these could only add up to 5. So bam, we know where the 9 is. It's here. And this can't be the 2 cell 6 clue or it will become a 3 cell ascent. So the 2 cell 6 clue is here. This is the 1 cell 6 clue, which has a 6 here. This is 1 or 2, followed by a 4 or 5, because we remember it can't be a 1, 2, 3 sequence. This has to be lower than 4 or 5. This has to be lower than 6. So 7 is in one of these cells. It's not here, because then the next cell would break the sequence. 7 is there. This must be 9 to keep the ascent going, and the ascent therefore needs a 1 there. And now we know the rest of this box. Box 8. There you go. Done. Right, this 22 clue reaches that point. Oh, I've used the wrong colour. Sorry, I was using orange for vertical and blue for horizontal. Now this one ends there in 8. So these 3 add up to 14. Oh, hang on. These 2 are not in... Yes, this 10 cannot be a 3-cell sum, or it'll become a 4-cell sum involving a 9. Therefore, it must be a 2-cell sum. These outies, these sandwiched numbers, add up to 45 minus 22 minus 10 is 13. So that is a 1. Now, the 10 clue is either... No, it's not 1, 9, it's not 2, 8, it's not 3, 7, it is 4, 6. And we have 2, 5, 7. So 2, 5, 7, 8 must add up to 22. It does. Bingo. Right, this 10 clue is 2 digits. It can't... The only way of it hitting that 5 would be 2, 3, 5 or 1, 4, 5, and they would be clashing with these things. So it's a 2-cell ascent. This 11... Oh, this can't go 1, 4, 6 because of these in the box. It can't go 2, 3, 6. Oh, there is that, but I also saw this, which prevents it. So this is a 2-cell cage. Yet again, I've done the wrong colour. I can't remember my own colour scheme, which I invented about a minute ago. Right, this is not 2, 8 or 3, 7. It also can't be 1, 9 because of that 1. So that is a 4, 6 pair. Here we can't have 4, 7 or 5, 6. We also can't have 2, 9 because of that. So we have 3, 8. And all these clues in the bottom 3 rows and vertically are done. Right, 13. Yet again, this cannot be a 3-cell clue, or it'll grab the 9 and become a 4-cell clue. It's like a magnet thing. So it must be 2. It must be 2, and they can't be 4, 9 because of that. But they can be 5, 8 or 6, 7. Oh, this puzzle is brilliant. I've never seen anything working like this. That can't be 5 or 6. This can't be a 3. That's absolutely critical. So 2 and 1 there. Now, these 3 now have to add up to 19. So this can't be a 4, because that would make this a 3 and we just wouldn't get there. So, minimum 13, that could be a 9. Maximum 16. Oh, that can't be a... Oh, this has to be bigger than 7 or 8. So, yeah, 8 or 9 there. If that was an 8, 9 there, 17, 19, 20, we don't get enough here. That is a 7. 10. So these two have to add up to 12, so that's not a 5 anymore. 3 or 4. That hasn't decided how far this one goes, but maybe we can do that either with something else we've learnt. Have a look at this 14. This can no longer be a 2-cell clue, because 9 and 8 have both been used up, and one of them would have to be used in it. It can't be a 4-cell clue, because that would either involve a 1, or it would be 2, 3, 4, 5, and since 6 would be there, they'd all join on up to the 9. So it's a 3-cell clue, and it doesn't start with 1 or 2. So I think that makes it 3. Oh, I was going to say might make it 3, 4, 7, which was what I suggested it was at the start, but in fact there's a 7 there. So it's 3, 5, 6. Then these are 2 and 4, and that's fine. They are lower than that. They stop the ascents. Right. 7 and 5, bit of ordinary Sudoku. So they're a pair there. 2 and 9 are a pair there. 1 and 3 over here, and 8 and 9 there. Now this 20. Well, these have to ascend. And look, this can't be a 5. So 4 or 6, 5 or 7, 6, 7, 8, yeah, or 9. Yes, actually, no, I need to put more in because I don't know whether it's only a 4-cell clue. I don't really know what I'm doing with this. Let me try and have a think about the 26 now. Can it be 5 cells? I said it would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Oh, that is possible. It's probable if it can be done. If it wasn't that, could it go 4, 6? Could you do it in, yes, if it starts with a 4, you're not going to go to 5 cells. So then these 3 add to 22. So in fact, they will go 4, 6, 7, 9. So these are the only, oh no, it could be a 4-cell clue beginning with 3. Oh, I'm finding, oh, good God, 3 looking straight at that cell. Wakey, wakey. Right. That one means it is a 4-cell clue. And did I just say it must end in 9? Yes, these 3 add up to 22. They have to have a 9 in, yes. That's a 9. That looks, well, 13. These add up to 13. They must be 6 and 7 now. That, oops, that's all done. So 2 and 9 are fixed. So be careful. 2 and 9 are fixed. So are 7 and 5. This is brilliant. I love this. Right, 3 and 8 here. They stop that sequence. I'm trying to keep an eye. Oh, now we can finish this off. 14 plus 8 is 22. Now, I've still got to work on this 11, 12, and 20 clue. But let's just do some regular Sudoku first. Right, 3, 8 there means that's a 3, 8 pair. We can place 5 and 9. Yes, 2 and 4 go in there. And we can place 1 and 9. And this 11 now doesn't have a 1 in it. So the only way for it to be 3 cells would be 2, 4, 5, clearly impossible, or 2, 3, 6. It can't be 4 once the 1's gone, so it is a 2-cell clue. And it doesn't have 5, 6 in it. It doesn't have 9, 2. Oh, and it doesn't have 3, 8, because that would clash with this cell. So it's 4, 7. And that fixes this 13 down here gorgeously. 3, 8. That has also fixed that. Not this, suddenly. Surprisingly, I mean. This is a naked single. It sees 3, 8, 7, 4, 2, 1 in the row, 5, 6 in the column. That is a 9. We can do 6 there as a single as well. 5. They don't fix this stuff down here. We've got 1, 2, and 3 to place. Now, look at this 12. Well, we can't have a 1 here because that's going to break a sequence. There has to be at least 2. So this is a 1 or a 2. It can't be a 2 because there's 1 in the column. Has to be lower than that, so it's a 1. This clearly can't go to that cell, ascending, so this is the end of it. It's a 3-cell clue, no blue. And this is a 9 or an 8. Well, it's a 9 because we've got an 8 in the box. So 2 there, that's 3, this is 1. That 9 has fixed the 8, 9 pair. That 8 fixes 3 and 8 in column 2, row 2. Then we've got 2 and 8. We can place them. We can resolve the 3, 1 at the bottom. This one is a right in 7. 6 and 4 to place here. They don't affect this. Just checking everything, every ascent has ended with a lower number after it. Right, so, well, this is a naked single, 724956 in the column, 18 in the row. That is a 3. Then this is 2, 1, 8. We've got 5, 6, and 7 to go in here. This is a set of 1 there and a 4, 7 pair. 2, 5, and 6 here. So 5 or 6. I think we're going to finish this without using the 20 clue, which would be quite strange for a Richard Stolk puzzle, but I don't think we're going to need it because we've got so much other information going on. And as I say that, yes, this 2 is keying into this 4, 2 pair. That fixes 7, 4. That fixes 6, 4. That fixes 7. That fixes 2, and and we get a deadly pattern, and that's why we do need the 20 clue, and I get another piece of schooling from Richard Stolk, which is exactly what I expected. That has to be a 5 to make that lot add up to 20. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful finish to a really elegant puzzle. And that's exactly what we expect from Richard. Fantastic work. Really enjoyable, really interesting. I mean, maybe there are other ways to get started, but I was pretty pleased with the insight about where 9 and 8 go, although it had taken me quite a while to kind of see this negative constraint that these numbers, that these sequences of ascents had to end with a digit that didn't ascend. Really interesting puzzle. That's the sort of joy of Sudoku, frankly. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, as always. I hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.